It's time to learn about being proactive on the road. Time to learn how to regain control when you lose it. Time to know what to do in dire situations.
What we do at Drive to Survive is show experienced and new drivers how to handle emergency behind the wheel, avoid their natural instincts, because your natural instincts are completely wrong when you get into emergency. You'll do the opposite behind the wheel.
It's a very beneficial program. We see it as giving the kids the skills and at least the chance to survive, avoid and survive a serious accident.
I thought it was just going to be us like sitting in the classroom and hearing the same stuff that we usually hear and about accidents and stuff, but it was really hands-on and really helpful.
Think of Drive to Survive as an advanced placement course for driving. It teaches drivers the do's.
This way, nice and smooth. That's what we want to do, real smooth.
And the don'ts of driving in less than desirable situations.
So many parents spend thousands of dollars on horseback riding lessons, skating, basketball camps, and then they'll hand their young drivers a set of keys for their brand new car that they haven't got them the skills to make it home safely every day.
I don't feel like in driver's ed before we were really taught quite to this extreme how to avoid these situations.
A vehicle is going to do certain things when it hits a slick spot. Usually when you encounter one of these situations, whether it be an experienced driver or a new driver, you don't have those many chances to practice and be able to understand how to control the vehicle and how to do the right thing to keep from hitting something.
This class, it helps with if there is no way to avoid the accident, this is how you deal with it.
The class starts with a lecture. Then students break up into smaller groups and go to several stations. Each station teaches students a skill that they can use to keep them safe on the road.
And we did where we was skid, where it was just a circle and there was water on it, so we would slide and you had to turn the wheel toward whichever way it's sliding so that you will stop sliding.
Well, one exercise, we had a bunch of cones set up and it was basically trying to practice your steering. They taught us the shuffle method because so many people are used to driving with their hands like overlapping.
We went around and we dodged the cones, I guess, and we went down and we increased our speed, tried not to hit any cones. And that was to, help dodge any obstacles that you may have on the road.
Probably the biggest thing that I learned was using my peripheral vision the most. I was always the type of driver that was just worried about around my car, but now, I know what points to look at and all of that.
We got 2 rows of cones here. You go through the middle, pretty simple.
A certified police driving instructor teaches each one of the skills. They are the people who train EMS workers and police officers about how they should drive to an accident. Each instructor performs a maneuver, then rides with students as they repeat what they were just shown. It seems easy, but it's not.
Just about everything was opposite of what I would have done. Everything was totally different.
Like when you skid, for example, your tail end of your vehicle is going out and you want to turn into the skid, but you have to turn the opposite direction, and it seems like you should be doing the other way around.
It took me a second to do that because you're supposed to do it on instinct, but I have to think about it, so you have no time. So that was one instance where I had to work against my instinct.
Instructors also reinforce concepts students have learned, like watch your speed and mind your surroundings. The reminders combined with training reinforce the need to be responsible behind the wheel. In the end, students become better drivers because they are better prepared.
I'm definitely more confident with my ability to cope with the different situations.
A lot of the stuff I already knew, just basics, but this has given me the experience because I've never been able to go out and, go 40 miles an hour through cones and drift around. I've never been able to do that stuff, and so this has given me the experience and the practice of it.
I plan on going to college in a place with a lot of snow, so you're going to have ice, and I think that would be very beneficial because even though we don't get that much snow around here in Maryland, you got to worry about sliding and spinning out, hydroplaning.
Definitely the things that I learned in this course were very invaluable to me.
On this Sunday, 16 Charles County Public School students participated in the Drive to Survive program without having to spend any of their own money. The cost of the class was $300 per student, which was paid for by the Charles County Sheriff's Office. Students were selected based on an essay they wrote about what safe driving means to them. 8 hours after they started Drive to Survive, these students are ready to preach what they practiced in order to save lives.
I would refer this class to everybody that I've ever known in Maryland because I really want to, go back and help the community and help my friends and family.
I would think that any sort of practice, any sort of thing that would give you an advantage in a situation that you wouldn't typically have, any sort of skill that you could learn to possibly prevent these fatalities, prevent these accidents, these injuries, would be something that you would want to do.
Most of the driving schools that kids are already going to should attend one of these courses and maybe pass on the tips for kids who can't necessarily afford another $300 class.
They will tell their friends, and then their friends will do the right thing, and this helps you make the right decisions.
I think it's a good experience, and I say if you can do it, then definitely do.